You are listening to As Loud as I Want by Coastal Youth Media. My name is Jayla. Each of us read a poem by former National Youth Poet Laureate Amanda Gorman called Call Us. We discussed how it related to our own styles of spoken word and what tools Miss Gorman used to create a powerful story.
Call us, grant us this day, bruising the make of us. At times, over half of our bodies are not our own, our persons made vessel for non-human cells. To them, we are a boat of a being, essential.
What struck you about that poem? What lines did you like?
We are not me, we are we.
I like all of it.
What did it make you think about?
About spending time with family. It just showed me how families react to other families.
I personally started kind of thinking of, when she was talking about human cells and everything, I started to think of more of a disease type thing. And then we are the vessels that the kind of disease travels through. So as we're moving through from continent to continent, we are the vessels for, we are the boat, we are the vessels that the whatever disease is carried through. Because viruses are actually not living without a host. That's what I thought of.
After discussing how Miss Gorman told her stories in print, our workshop hosted Israel Sorenson, an Eastern North Carolina poet, and he performed a spoken word piece for us.
Like I said, no name yet, so we'll see. We'll see what I call it. But anyway, here we go. When you live in a ghost town, you never really get used to the voices. Voices that arise from every block, park, and business. The city itself stands as a cemetery. The downtown skyline, the only tombstone for the innocent folk that once thrived in this former Mecca for the minorities. When the shadows cast down the streets, the darkness is the only memories held as truth. A gateway to a fatal night when blood filled the cracks in the cobblestones, and the contrast of a cold black body amidst the warm glow of a burning building made a masterpiece for the monsters. Streets once familiar turned to labyrinths, a maze filled with hedges of fear and flames of the wicked that consume any opportunity of escape. Residents fleeing the sound of thunder before the lightning of a Gatling would rain bullets upon them. There is no mercy when the merchant of death owns all the umbrellas. To those who have only ever seen heaven on earth, the prophecy of the end times stand off in the distance, but to the rest of us, the apocalypse is historical text, and we're still trying to build a new Jerusalem in a city where restless souls reside.
That gave me chills.
Thank you.
What mindset were you when you were writing this poem? What were you thinking about?
The first verse in the poem that actually blossomed into this becoming a full piece was a single line in here. It was there is no mercy when the merchant of death owns all the umbrellas. It was a singular bar that I just thought of in my head while just sitting. I think at the time I had just gotten off of work, but of course, like many other Americans and the rest of the world at the time, there was a lot of stuff, being put on the news and on, social media about people dying, unjustly, and also other slights that were, being put against, minorities in America. So just seeing all of that.
We have been reading and listening to poets about North Carolina and national poets who tell stories about their lives. Coming up next is our final projects of our traditions and rituals in Carteret County by writing and performing our own spoken word poems.
I would love to get into hearing you guys' poems now.
I'm Jayla. Thanks for listening. As Loud as I Want is a project of Coastal Youth Media in Moorhead, North Carolina. This project is funded in part by a grant from Carteret County Arts Council with additional funding from North Carolina Local News Fab Fund.